In this video, we will go over CRUD operations with Node.js and MongoDB. So before we begin, I would like to clarify one thing here. We will not be using any front-end implementations to validate the API calls. We will use the REST client that was included in VS Code as an extension. Okay? And please make sure that you have configured the Node.js and MongoDB in your machine. Let's get started with the coding. I have created a new folder called contact list. We will do the rest of the work in this folder. So I have opened it in VS Code. Then from the folder, open the terminal and run npm init, which enables in the creation of new package.json. Then create a new file called server.js, which will be the application's entry point. Let's open it and start coding. Now let me import the Express module to build a server capable of handling HTTP request and the routing. And before importing the Express module, make sure you have installed it locally. Okay. To listen to the HTTP request, we should use the listen method available in the Express module, which accepts the port number and the callback as an arguments. To ensure the application is ready to listen the request, let's now start the server and see if the application is working properly. Here I am using NodeMon, which automatically compiles the application based on the changes. So to start the application, type nodemon space server.js. Then just hit enter. Okay. The application appears to be operational. Let's now connect the MongoDB to the application. Please ensure that you have started the MongoDB in your local machine. To access MongoDB from the application, we must use Mongoose module. So let's import it. Before you begin, ensure that you have also installed Mongoose module in your local machine. Then to connect to the database, we have connect method available in the Mongoose module, which accepts the URL for the MongoDB. So the URL begins with MongoDB : then localhost. Since we are using MongoDB in our local machine, we have to use localhost. Then slash followed by the database name. Now we have connected the MongoDB. To check whether the MongoDB connection was established, we can use the connection.once method, which is available in Mongoose module. Let's save the changes and verify the MongoDB connection in the terminal. Oh, I am getting an error. And I believe it is because the new Mongo version is incompatible with the Mongo server installed on my machine. Let me just resume the video once I have resolved this issue. As you can see in the terminal, the changes have been updated and the connection to the MongoDB has been established. I have fixed the problem by downgrading the Mongoose module version. Okay. I am getting some warnings because I am using an old version of MongoDB. If you use the latest version, you won't get these warnings. Let me just include the connection options so that these warnings are avoided. Right. We'll handle the REST API calls now. So to handle HTTP calls, we will use Express router. And then to accept the endpoints, we should use app.use method, where the first argument is an endpoint URL and then the router object, which we will create in a few minutes. Okay. Then in order to save the data to the database, we must define the model. So let's make a new folder called models and put contact.js inside. Now in contact.js, we must import the Mongoose module in order to create a model in the MongoDB. So whenever we interact with MongoDB, we should use Mongo's module. Okay. Then the model accepts two arguments, the name of the model and the data schema, which is nothing more than the data representation structure. We all know that MongoDB is a schemaless database, but we must define the schema in order to maintain the data consistency in the database. To create schema, we should use mongoose.schema, and it accepts schema definition and schema options as a second argument. Name is of type string and it is required to be true because the contacts without the names are not possible, right? Then the email ID with the type string and it is also required to be true. Here we are including a unique attribute to true because it avoids the duplicate entries with the email ID. Okay. Then again we are using same attributes for the phone number as well. Then as a second argument we are adding a collection name. Okay. Finally we'll export the model. To handle API calls, create a new folder and name it as routes. Then inside that folder, create a new file called contacts.js. Let us now open the contacts.js to write coding for the HTTP calls. Okay. As per my previous statement, we are going to use the Express router to handle HTTP calls. Then we will import the contact model, which allows us to create the data based on this model. Okay. Now we are going to capture the API calls. Initially, we are going to start with adding some data to the database. Okay. So to add the data, we have to use post method available in Express router, which accepts two arguments, the path of the HTTP call and the callback method. We are using arrow functions here. Then from the request body, we are extracting name, email ID and the phone number using object destructuring. Okay. Then we are going to use the try catch block, which makes easy to catch the errors. In the try block, to add the data, we should use create method available for models in the MongoDB. Okay. So contacts.create with name, email ID and the phone number. And the console statement helps us to know whether the data is saved or not. And if there are any errors, this catch block will help us to capture the error and return the HTTP response as error. To send the HTTP response, we are using res.status of 400, where the status code is 400. Okay, and attaching the JSON object. Return the response if the data is saved successfully. Here we are using status code as 200 and attaching the JSON object. Finally, we need to export the router. Here I am getting one more warning. I will resolve it using options shown in the terminal. Okay. Now we will test the API call to see if it is working properly. Okay. So to confirm that, we are going to use the REST client extension available in Visual Studio Code. So we'll make the another file called restcall.http. I hope you are following me, right? Fine. Right now the application has only a post method, right? So enter the post keyword followed by the API URL. And then the content type should be application/JSON. Finally, we will include our name, email address and the phone number in the request body. And hit the send request button. Oh, we are getting an 404 error, right? Let me just double check the API URL. Fine, there is a typo error. Let's add the letter yes to contact and we'll now save the changes and resend the request. Again we are getting an error, which means the application could not parse the request object. Since the Express.js doesn't parse the JSON object by default, we are getting this error. So we need to include the middleware in order to parse the JSON object. Okay. To add the middleware, we have to use app.use with express.json method. Fine. Let me save the changes and send the request again. I can able to see that the data was saved in the database. If we try to update the duplicate value, the error will be thrown because we have used the unique property for the email ID and the phone number, right? Let me update two more pieces of information. So, in the Node.js application, we have to use the post method in this manner. We will get the data whatever has been saved in the database. Okay. So, in order to get the data, we have to use router.get method, which accepts two arguments, a path of the HTTP call and the callback method. We will get the contacts from the database and assign them to the variable called allContacts. And then we will define the try catch block. As usual, the catch block will log the error and return the failure response. Then in the try block, in order to get the data, we have to use find method available for the model. So in our case, we have to use contact.find method. Since we haven't used any filters, this will retrieve all the data from the collection. Okay. Let's save and double check the changes. Then in the HTTP file, we must define the get method along with the API URL. And the content type should be application/JSON. Finally, hit the send request button. Fine. We can able to retrieve all the data from the database, right? This is how we should read the data from the database. Okay. Till now, we have created the data in the database and we can able to retrieve them using get method, right? Now, we will continue with updating some existing data. Okay. So, in order to update the data, we should use router.put method, which accepts two arguments, the path of an API call and the callback method. If you notice the URL path, we will be using path params to update the data, right? Then we will extract the ID from the request parameters and assign it to _ID variable. It is an ES6 feature. If you have any questions, kindly go through the ES6 features, or else let me know in the comment section. Then the name, email ID and phone number will be extracted from the request body. Then in the catch block, we will do the error handling as we did in the previous two methods. Then in the try block, we should use contact.update1. This method accepts two arguments. The first argument is to find the data based on the query. So in our case, we are looking for the data based on the _ID value, right? The second argument would then be the data to be updated, right? So it should be name, email ID and the phone number. Let's save the changes and return to the HTTP file. Here, we should use put method with the API URL and the ID of the document. Then the content type should be application/JSON. And in the request body, I will input the string value of _update, and for the mobile number, I will set all the numbers to 5. Let's send the request. As we can see, the data has been updated in the database, right? To view the updated data, we will retrieve it using get method. Now we can able to see the recent data, right? This is how the data should be updated in the MongoDB. We are almost at the end of this session. Now we will go over the delete method and finish this session. Okay. We are going to delete some of the existing data in the database. So to delete the data, we should use router.delete method, which accepts path and the callback as an arguments. Here also we are using same path params. Then in the callback method, we will capture the errors using catch block. Then in the try block, we will use delete one method which is available for the model. This method deletes the first identified record based on the query we pass. Okay. So in our case, the query is ID. This deletes the document with the specified ID. Finally, return the response. Let's verify this delete operation using HTTP file. We must define the delete method first, followed by the URL and the content type. We will not use any body content in this case. We are going to remove the first record in the contact list. Okay, so just hit the send request button. We have successfully deleted the record. If we use the get method to retrieve the data again, it works perfectly. As you can see, the records do not contain any deleted documents, right? This is how the delete operation should be performed in the MongoDB using Express.js. So in this video, we have covered CRUD operations using Node.js and the MongoDB. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.